on the 44th day of the conflict between Gaza and Israel. Today in Israel, the IDF has uncovered surveillance footage from the Shifa Medical Center, clearly indicating that on October 7th, Hamas militants brought hostages from Israel into the Shifa Medical Center through the front door. This contradicts earlier claims by the leadership of Hamas, the heads of the Al-Shifa Medical Center, who asserted that there was no terrorist activity within the complex. Hamas has been deceiving the international community since the beginning of the conflict, spreading lies to hinder Israel's mission and garner international pressure to halt IDF operations against Hamas in Gaza. The false claims were centered around a supposed humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The ongoing hostilities persist on multiple fronts, spanning the Gaza Strip, the Northern Front in Lebanon, and Syria. In the past 24 hours, the Israeli Air Force executed aerial operations to target Hezbollah missile launchers in Lebanon, which had launched an attack on Israeli territory. According to the IDF, these attacks were just the beginning, as Hezbollah had planned a massive missile assault involving hundreds of missiles. The IDF, in coordination with the Israeli Air Force and artillery units, launched a preemptive strike against all potential locations from which Hezbollah could launch rockets toward Israel. This operation neutralized the threat, averting a much larger missile attack. In another operation within Lebanon, Israeli fighter jets identified 2 weapons convoys camouflaged as civilian trucks. After striking these convoys, it was discovered that they contained long-range missiles with substantial explosive capabilities. Meanwhile, in Syria, a joint operation between the Israeli Air Force and the United States Air Force resulted in the neutralization of a weapons stockpile supplied by Iran to be used by Hezbollah against Israel. Moving to the Gaza Strip, IDF forces gained control over most of Hamas's command positions and facilities in Gaza City. While Hamas continues to carry out attacks against IDF forces within Gaza, these attacks are becoming less organized and coordinated. IDF's strategic responses include using drones to neutralize specific threats, such as terrorists launching missiles from tall buildings. It's evident that Hamas not only lies to the world, but also holds the Palestinian people hostage within the Gaza Strip. Assistance is sought in sharing the truth about the reality of Hamas, an entity responsible for the death of over 1,400 Israelis on October 7th, with 238 still held captive. The IDF is committed to finding and neutralize Hamas, wherever it hides, and rescuing those held captive in Gaza. The conflict extends beyond the northern part of the Gaza Strip, with Hamas terrorists emerging from underground tunnels and hideouts to target IDF troops. An undercover operation on Friday evening neutralizes 2 Hamas terror cells operating from the West Bank, preventing a potential attack in Jerusalem. Weapons, including RPGs, guns, and axes, were seized during this operation. The complexity of this war is evident as it involves various areas of Israel, not limited to the northern and southern parts. The West Bank, areas surrounding Jerusalem, and central cities witness heightened tensions, prompting extensive IDF operations to locate terrorists before they can execute their plans.